Hi, my name is Jarod, and this is Breakable Program. Today on Game Shame, we'll be discussing something that gets my blood boiling every time I think about it. It's a problem that's been facing the industry for years now, and we're all aware of it, even if we don't want to acknowledge it. I like to call this issue recycled games. And no, I'm not talking about when you go to GameStop and pick up a previously owned game. I'm talking about Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed. I'm talking about all these FIFA games and all those Madden games. Now, I know that with games like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, storylines and story campaigns can differ to a certain extent. However, this doesn't change the fact that gaming companies are profiting off of what is essentially the same game mechanics with new assets. This has been said 100 different times by 100 different channels, but I want to meander about my point for a while longer to make the point hit harder. So instead of outright saying that we need to start buying these stale franchises until they start innovating, I'm instead going to talk about why the issue has gotten to the point it's at. The first Assassin's Creed game is a good game. The first Call of Duty game is a good game. However, these are not good franchises. Many people fell in love with the first Assassin's Creed game because of its unique mixture of history and technology. The fulfilling stealth and engaging combat were also rather nice additions. Take a look at the two most recent Assassin's Creed games. Origins was a mess. Buggy and derivative gameplay that was over 50% trailing missions. The story was bland, like, spoiler, but your son dying within the first 30 milliseconds of the game starting was so obvious that a blind deaf man could have seen it coming. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, on the other hand, looked like it had hope. Ubisoft took a year off to try and reinvent the game, which was such a good sign, and I was proud of Ubisoft for taking this step towards genuine improvement and innovation, but then it came out. I had a friend who bought this game the second he could, and less than a day later he returned it. He told me, "I bought an Assassin's Creed game, not a Souls game set in Greece with some stealth mechanic." And honestly, a Souls game with stealth mechanics sounds like a really good idea. Oh wait, FromSoft released one set in Japan. Damn. At first I thought he was exaggerating, but then I saw some of the combat for this game, and I didn't see the punchy, quick combat that I fell in love with. I saw clunky, poorly executed Witcher-like combat. Really what I'm getting at is that in trying to reinvent themselves, Assassin's Creed lost what made so many people fall in love with it. It's not just the combat, the characters were boring, and some felt like they didn't even belong in the setting, and can I just say that in a game set in a historical setting with real people who existed, and when they don't feel like they belong in the setting, you can tell you really didn't do a great job at integrating them. And on top of all this, they essentially axed everything to do with the present time characters. For real though, Ubisoft, learn from criticism. People complained about the real world segments because there was nothing to do in them. Don't just pull out a core part of your franchise because you're too lazy to actually do something with it. They lost so much in trying to make their game better because they tried to make it something it wasn't. However, all of these things are just symptoms of the real issues. That being that all of these companies recognize that they made a dedicated player base that will buy their trash reproductions until the end of time. Ubisoft is exempt from most of these criticisms only because they made a genuine effort with Odyssey, but they just really bungled it up. These companies struck gold, and they're willing to keep beating this dead horse and milking this money cow until someone does something. But we can do something. We can stop buying these games. We can say, no, give me an innovative game or give me a new IP. I want you all to understand I loved the Assassin's Creed series. Altair and Ezio are characters who are very close to my heart, and I miss the wonder and enjoyment this franchise used to instill in me. But now we're 30 million games in with weird books and a bad movie, and it's clear that they stopped caring about the game and started caring about the money a long time ago. We need to start voting with our wallets. We are the lifeblood of this industry, and we need to start acting like it. I, for one, will not be buying any more of these recycled games. I want to support new IPs and new developers that care about their clientele. Although, I can't praise Ubisoft more for at least trying to innovate, even if they did happen to lose what site really mattered in their games. I know I'm giving a bit of a mixed message here, where I'm saying, oh, they need to innovate, and then I'm like making fun of Ubisoft for bungling up their innovation, but honestly, when you're innovating your games, you can expect to mess it up a few times, and there's no shame in that, even if I am taking shots at Ubisoft's expense. I really do think that they're making the right step if they take more time off. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to comment down below if you disagree with me, although from what I've seen about this topic, there aren't a whole lot of people who do. So, what are your thoughts on how we can fix this issue of these games without any soul in them anymore? See you next time. Feel free to subscribe, and much love.